The escalating crisis between Russia and Ukraine. There are reports this afternoon of more shelling, mass evacuations, and explosions in the Russian-controlled separatist areas in Donbass. And the U.S. State Department, I should say, is already calling it a false flag operation after warning that Russia would concoct a sort of pretext to invade. This comes as President Biden is set to meet with key allies by phone. He'll be addressing the country about that call later this afternoon. James Longman joins us from Minsk with the latest on these fast-moving developments. James, hi. What can you tell us about these reports? First of all, what's going on in the separatist regions?
Yeah, Diane, I think the heat has really ratcheted it up here tonight. I mean, we've had a number of these false flag incidents reported. The question is whether or not it becomes the false flag that gives Russia the green light, if you like, to invade, gives them the pretext for their invasion. And I think there have been two major incidents tonight that have set everyone on edge. The first was a report of an alleged car bomb attack in the separatist region of one of the leaders of the separatist militia, an attempted assassination. And then moments later, almost, there were reports that a Russian vlogger, a well-known war vlogger, was at the scene taking pictures of this car to explain that the Ukrainians had tried to kill this leader of the Russian separatist rebel group. Quite why any Ukrainian would wish to do that when 150,000 plus Russian troops are sitting on the border of their country is where the kind of argument would fall down and where people would suggest, well, maybe this is a false flag. That's the first incident. That created a lot of tension, but that is in the backdrop of mass evacuations now being announced by separatist groups in the east of Ukraine, saying that because Ukraine is poised to launch an invasion, they now need to get women and children out. There are pictures of them being loaded onto buses, and there's a lot of concern, they say, about the idea that Ukraine is about to launch this attack. Possibly as many as 700,000 civilians now need to leave. We've had a message from a governor of a region in Russia alerting President Putin to the idea that he needs help to take in all these people, save them from the Ukrainians. So this kind of double-pronged false flag attack now possible. We'll see whether or not it is the thing that means Russia invades. Everyone, of course, hoping that it isn't. Dan?
And James, I know you're in Belarus. You're seeing a lot of military drills going on right now. What do we know about kind of that aspect of things?
Well, for 10 days or so, the Russians have been, putting on a huge display of force here in Belarus. It sits on the border, of course, with Ukraine. And where they're putting on these military drills is just about 2 hours by land from Kiev. So Western intelligence agencies have been saying, well, if Kiev was to be attacked, like all likelihood, troops would be coming from there. There are something like 30,000 at least Russian troops in Belarus at the moment, attack helicopters, airborne units, long-range, short-range missiles, you name it. These troops and this equipment came some 6,000 miles all the way across Russia to sit just 2 hours from Kiev. So that quite clearly is meant as a sign of force. This is a crisis which has so far been about showing how strong you are and not yet necessarily using it yet. So everyone's hoping that when these drills are due to wrap up, which is in 2 days' time, these forces go back to their bases. And that was what both Putin and Lukashenko, the president here in Belarus, have said. But now the messaging is a little different. Now the messaging is, well, if Vladimir Putin needs these troops to remain here for any longer, then, of course, they are welcome to stay. So that then puts the international community slightly on edge. It's also the case that whilst everyone knew that these military drills were going to take place, there are units that are not in designated areas. They are outside of where the drills were meant to take place, much closer to the border with Ukraine. Satellite imagery seems to suggest that. There's also satellite imagery which has shown that there are field hospitals being set up, not the kind of thing you have set up when you're putting on a military drill. So all of this is meant to be a show of force. The big question, Diane, is whether or not Russia uses it. Diane?
All right, James Longman, thanks for that. Much appreciated.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.